This is the BYD ATTO 3, which I have as a rental car for the next 5 days. And here we are in the lovely town of Tunbridge in England. I'm going to do a walk around of this car. As you can see, it's nice front. This is a nice colour of a car. Here is your passenger side. And you can see where the my USB cable is. Comes from in there, and interesting upholstery, spacious back seat. Again, an interesting material and colour scheme. It's a sort of vinyl type material. You've got a USB-C and a normal USB at the back there. And around here we have a boot. And as you can see, there's plenty of room for stuff. You've got my stuff in there at the moment, but a spacious boot, and you've got a false floor there. There's more. If you lift this up, this stuff can fit under there. And again, you can see around here on the driver's side. And of course, the final touch is, if you want to practice the guitar, you've got 3 strings on each side. And that's the BYD. Very nice wheel trims. You've got to admit, these are quite impressive, the style of wheel trim. But that's the external look of the BYD. It has a sunroof too, which can be removed. If you look up here, you can see the sunroof, which you can lift in this model. I haven't tried that, but overall the appearance, it's a tidy looking SUV, quite stylish. This is the key. That's for locking, that's for opening, and the key is communicating with the car, so we do not do anything other than touch that to start the vehicle. And here you have the screen, home. For some reason, here it is. Now this is something about this car that I find somewhat annoying, but Google Maps is on, and it's quite difficult to get rid of it. The forward camera, and we'll just go into reverse, and you can see reverse here. It's a very good camera system. And now I've put it into drive, and this stays on for a while until it thinks that I'm safely out of the turning area. Stop there. And sharp out of me. Now we're just driving along here, and I'll just point out the features. We've got most things are on a flat panel here. You have your gear stick, which has drive, reverse and neutral, and you can see that up here. If you look up, you've got the small panel here. You can see drive. And this here is your regen braking, and it's got standard and high. In all fairness, I haven't been able to notice any difference between the standard and high. And in this car, one of the disappointments is the regen braking is very weak. Compared to a Nissan Leaf I own, it is almost non-existent. So you won't be doing one pedal driving in this car. I also have it on eco mode. Here is your modes. You've got normal, sport and eco. Again, acceleration wise, I have not been able to notice any difference in these modes at all. I think going into sport mode to get more acceleration would be pure placebo. And here we have automatic braking. That's your park thing there. You press that and the car goes into park. You unpress it and you're out of park. This is air conditioning on and automatic. Sets the temperature and you can just take it up and down to what you want. And this is your anti-skid. You can put that on various levels. Now, fully charged, this car has a range showing up of 260 miles. In the UK, they still do miles. For my New Zealand viewers and viewers in countries that are metric, that's a little bit over 400 kilometres. My experience so far is roughly that is what it does. It's fairly accurate. This car is basically new. I'm the first person to have rented it. Now we're just driving along. This is a 30-mile-an-hour area, which is equivalent to 50 kilometres, and this is through nice English type village. The car is very quiet. One thing that annoys me a little bit is it has a background noise at low speeds. I think the idea is to let everyone know that an electric car is coming, but I find it very annoying. It's sort of like the hum that you can get in your ears if you get a bit of tinnitus, and it's a feature I don't think the car needs. So we're on the M21 now, and we're just going to see how much acceleration this car has got. We're going at 40 kilometres an hour. I think we're allowed to do 40 miles an hour. I think we're allowed to do 60 on this road.
70.
So we're going to see
70,
how...
yeah.
What's that?
70.
70, so I'm going to see how quickly we can go to
Well,
that.
you can actually go to 80, but...
Yep. Okay. Now that's pretty rapid. I would think that was almost... It wasn't quite as good as the Tesla Model 3 I've driven, but it was pretty good. Now just to see how this works, I'm going to change the mode, and we're going to go into sport and see if we do it any quicker. So here we are at 42. Now keep an eye on that speedo, because...
Where's the speedo?
Yep, get it in sight, and here we are. Now that's very quick. That is amazing acceleration. It is a little bit better in sport, but not a lot. But the car has some fantastic acceleration. Now for our next thing, we're going to move out of sport mode, and this here is this is lane assist. You just press this button here and lane assist, and 2 green lines come on here. Now I press the set button here and that up there, and now I have activated here we are, no hands, and we're stuck at 49 miles per hour. Getting the adaptive cruise control is not quite straightforward. You have to press the minus button, then you've got to press this other button up to get it to set. It doesn't, or to activate, it doesn't always activate. But by and large, once it's going, it is pretty good. You can go up in 5 mile steps. So I've pressed that, and we'll slowly gain 5 miles.
Pause.
We're going back to doing lane assist. Now you press this button here, and that will light up green on the panel, and you've got lane assist. Now you press this one here for adaptive cruise control, and that, and as you can see, when we've got the adaptive cruise control on, it works fairly well. At the moment, we're on 50 miles an hour. That's the speed we're locked into. If I take my hands off the steering wheel, it is keeping the lane fairly well, and it's cornering here. So it's fairly effective. Not perfect, and it holds the speed fairly well. I wouldn't rely on this lane assist 100%. It's, again, I'll give you the comparison with my 40 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf's lane assist is a little bit more accurate and feels a little bit better. The adaptive cruise control, I have to admit, it works very well once you get it activated, but to set it and activate it is not straightforward. It's a two-step process and doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to do the two-step process twice. We're going along here at around 50 miles an hour. This is the M21, and very quiet car, obviously, as you'd expect with an electric car.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of road noise with the car. Not a lot, but a little bit more than you would get from, say, a pricier car. And you get an interesting bong from the indicators. The car is quite nice to steer. It sits on the road fairly well. Suspension, a little bit, to me, a little bit on the soft side. I don't know how well this car would age. It's certainly nice because it's new. Overall, a pleasant car to drive, but some of the features are a little bit tricky to operate. There's a button here for answering the phone. We've got a button for putting it on speaker. We have the modes for your radio, and you can adjust the volume of your radio. So you've got all the normal sort of wheel things. You've got your indicator and your headlights on this side, and you've got your window wipers on that side, and you do have a rear window wiper. Now, one of the drawbacks of this car is you have restricted vision out the back window. These side mirrors work well, but the headrests give you a very small rear window view, which I think is a little bit disappointing. It's a design thing that could have been done a lot better, but that's what it has. You can pause now. Now, currently I'm charging on a very rapid charger here. As you can see from the reading, the charging rate is 89.4 kilowatt hours per hour, and at 46% state of charge, the BYD ATTO 3 is going to take another 51 minutes to reach a full charge, which is okay, but I would have thought that it might be faster. Here we are on the charging machine, which has capacity, EV power, to do 150 kilowatt hours per hour. So it's a very rapid charger, but as we can see, that is the charging rate that this car will give you. See on the big screen here at the charging station, and as we go up in charge, it is definitely slowing. It's gone back to 61 kilowatt hours per hour now, but as you can see on the inside the car, it is for some reason showing a slower speed of charge at 57.7 kilowatts. So for some reason, I think that might be what is being lost between what the car is receiving and what this machine is generating. So there it is, the BYD ATTO 3.